Hi friends, so today we're talking about flower seeds and starting those flower seeds inside. Also, what did I order this year for flower seeds and what did well last year for me in flower seeds? Or if you don't want to plant flower seeds, what plants did well that once it gets warm enough in your area, you can go to the garden center and go ahead and buy them already as little baby plants and get them planted up in your garden. Another thing we want to talk about, I want to show you actually a thrift find that I had purchased last spring. I'd taken you thrifting with me. We went to plant shopping and thrifting, and I had bought an antique chandelier that did not work. Well, it works now, and I want to show you how we installed it and got it up and running. I'll show you my plant setup too for my seedlings, how I start them indoors if you're thinking about doing something like that. And then we'll look at a lot of flowers today. So if you're looking for something to add to your garden, this will give you some ideas. Okay, I found a chandelier, you guys. Absolutely think it's beautiful. It sure needs to be cleaned up, but it is really pretty. Look at the leaf detail on it. Let me see if I can scoot in here. Isn't that pretty? And it is very heavy, it's very dusty, but it's beautiful. I have some cleaning to do. It has a real pretty top plate to it, and I thought this would look really nice in the home office. Okay, the chandelier, doesn't it look gorgeous? I am so thrilled with it, and it gives so much light in the room. I love having all the light in the room. So it was filthy. I really had to clean it up. And all of these were brittle and cracked because it was so old. All the crystals were filthy, so I cleaned each one of those individually. Now, once John started looking at it, a couple of these had been, someone had messed with the wiring inside, so he did need to fix that too. But our biggest thing is, I didn't want it hardwired in because just in case I want to move it somewhere else, I didn't want it so that it was hardwired in. But I did want the plate up above on the ceiling because I thought the plate really is what sets it off. And I also like having the disc on the ceiling because I think that's just a little bit extra. So I was trying to decide how to do that. And what I had thought about doing was like liquid nails and actually gluing it to the ceiling. Well, our ceiling is textured and is plastered. It's not a popcorn ceiling, it's an actual textured ceiling. So my concern was if I use some kind of glue type product, when we went to remove it, would it rip all of that texture off? And he drilled a little hole that can be filled and covered up into the ceiling and actually screwed that plate up in the ceiling. And of course, the white disc is just held in place with the plate. That's normally how you do it anyway. And so we can take the chandelier down and move it wherever I want. So since it is not hardwired in, I have it, of course, plugged into the wall, and I put it on a remote that's super easy that I can turn on and off whenever I need. And so it has been so wonderful having the extra light. And then of course, just the ambiance of having a chandelier in here. I do have a light with a ceiling fan here. You can see the cords are hanging down because I do use the ceiling fan a lot in Illinois during the summertime. We use our ceiling fans like daily. So that was not an option to remove the ceiling fan. So I just think it really sets off the room, and I've had to wait now. I mean, I got it in April or May. So I just wanted to give you an update on the chandelier. Just really thrilled with that purchase. And I'm still looking, I always keep my eyes open for more chandeliers because there's always a place. At first I said, no, there's no more places, but I think I could find a place. I like them. So let's get into flowers now. So first we're going to talk about what to sow indoors right now. Now again, you do not have to do this. This will just give you inspiration for later in the year if you'd rather do that. Geraniums, do you see the geranium? I grew that from seed last year. So again, this year I am gonna start some geraniums. They're super easy to grow and they look so nice. They start growing pretty quickly. So we have a couple of Mavericks I'm gonna try out this year. They get 12 to 18 inches tall. Then I'm also gonna do a bullseye light pink geranium, and this one has chocolate purple leaves and gets 14 to 16 inches tall. And then I want to do some ivy geraniums. I did try these last year and didn't have success, and I think I waited too long. So I'm going to start them inside early. Then switching over to snapdragons. I thought these were gorgeous. These are Chantilly. Now they come in a lot of different colors. They get 4 to 5 foot tall with 36 to 40-inch stems of huge open face bright flowers. So I got light pink and white that I'm going to try out on these this year. Another snapdragon I'm going to grow is Royal Bride, long, strong spikes of fragrant pure white flowers with a dash of cream. These get 3 foot tall. They're really nice in mass in beds or in mixed borders or even in your cutting garden. Now there's a couple of sweet peas I want to try. This is a new one from Swallowtail this year, Blue Reflections. Shades of blue and white, pale lilac to deep marine. Vigorous, grows 6 foot tall, makes excellent cut flowers and a sweet perfume. Then next, the Old Spice sweet pea. This is 6 to 8 foot tall on vines, also great for cut flowers and very intensely fragrant. And it says it's extremely heat resistant. So I want to try that one out this year too. So now let's move on to flowers I'm going to direct sow. So that means I will not be starting them from indoors now. I'll wait until it's nice out and grow them outside. Now these work for not only cut flowers, but also if you just want to grow them in your garden to enjoy in the landscape. So the first one is Sparkler Mix Cleome, and I've talked about Cleome before, how much I like Cleome. These do not have the spikes on them if you get the Sparkler Mix, and this has blush, lavender, rose, and white colors in it. These are awesome just to grow out in the garden, but they make beautiful accent flowers to your bouquet. This one's a new one to me. Pink Pop Socks Cosmo. Gorgeous single, semi-double shaped flowers in bright pink blooms in late spring to early summer and then into the fall. This is considered a knee-high Cosmo. It only gets 24 to 28 inches tall. So I think this will be nice in the garden, but also in bouquets. Now this is Double Click Mix Cosmo. It gets 4 foot tall. It blooms all summer long until frost. And then we see a mix of rosy red, white, and pink, semi-double, frilly, and fully double blossoms. So on to zinnias. I'm trying some new zinnias this year. This is Art Deco zinnia. It gets 5-inch blooms that are huge, long-lasting cut flowers, and it grows 2 to 3 feet tall. Then we have the giant cactus flowered zinnia with impressive 5-inch bright pink fully double blooms on spidery petals. This is a 3 foot tall flower and very easy to grow. Hungarian blue bread seed poppy. Large lavender blue crinkled poppies. The base of each petal is marked in a passionate purple. So it says you can dry these, the pods, and use them in dried flower arrangements, and also use the light blue seeds in your baking and your cooking. These grow 3 foot tall. So in the comments, let us know your tips. I have tried growing poppies the last 2 years and have had no success. So thanks for letting us know your tips on that. So things I grew last year that I'll be growing again. The first thing is Oxford Blue Salvia. I love Oxford Blue Salvia. It is gorgeous in arrangements. It looks pretty growing. Now the one thing I will tell you about this though is it did seem to self-seed. So make sure wherever you plant it, you don't mind if more little baby plants pop up. Another thing I really liked was Camelot White Foxglove and Dalmatian Rose Foxglove. Both of these I grew last year from seed and they did very, very well. And we already talked about Cleome and how much I like Cleome. Now that's the full size rose queen cleome. I'm going to do the smaller size this year. And then of course, snapdragons. Okay, so we're in my home office and I have not only south sun, I have west sun in here. So the room gets pretty warm. And so that's where I like to do my seeds at in the winter time. So I have a wire unit that I have grow lights that I've attached on 3 of the shelving units. Now these lights came from Lowe's and they run about $20 a piece. Now if you don't want something like that, another option I have, and this was an Amazon purchase. It's also a grow light. It's on a remote control and you can set the timer on it. And then you can move these wherever you want them to go, very bendable. So you could put them in multiple places. If you didn't have a stand like this, but had a long table that you had them on, this would work for that. And then another option I have, if you want to start small, say you just want to buy 1 pack of seeds and put them in a planter pot and have them on an end table, but they need some extra light. This works really well. This is a grow light that's a clip-on and it's got a little light, puts out a lot of light, does really well. I've used it too. And it just has an on-off switch. There's no timer on it, but this works really well. Now, normally for my plants, what I'll do is I will turn the lights on in the morning when I get up and shut them off when I go to bed. Let me show you what I use to grow my plants in. And this is what I used last year. And it's Jiffy Greenhouse Kit. It comes in 2 different sizes. And this isn't sponsored. It's just what I used last year and I really liked it. This little size is 25 little pellets. And they look like this, these little pods, and then you buy refill. So I cleaned out all of mine last year, and then I bought the refills to put them back in. And with all of those individual little pods, so once you put water in there, they poof up, and you put your seeds right in them. And then you've got your plastic cover to cover them. And then once they start growing and get to the pretty big in there, then I would take the lids off. And I will be starting these probably this week. I'll be starting some seeds, even maybe this weekend I'll start. So I would highly recommend it if you want to start even 1 pack inside in a little planter.